Just kidding. Anyway, what is up, my buffer people? Yo, OBS tells me how long I've been recording. I have never. What? Okay, today is okay. What? Okay, what is up, my buffer? I never knew that. OBS actually. Okay. This is IK, your buffer pal, back with another video. Draft breakdown. DPBA Season 3 is here, boys! We only took a short break because Season 2 was really successful, really fun. We got a handful of new coaches this season, with some returning favorites, like my boy Pele is back. Of course, you got Lizard here. Ashvamp, last season's winner, by the way. I probably could have beaten him, just saying, but, like, whatever, ain't no problem. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. So, little backstory. I decided, you know what, I want to, like, try to add a few Pokemon this season that are, like, usually banned. So we did a vote. We voted on, Tapu Lele, Deoxys Attack, Deoxys Defense, regular Deoxys, Aegislash, Naganadel, Mirgirna. I think that's it. I don't know. I voted basically to allow everything except Mirgirna. I thought Mirgirna should be banned. It is also Tapu Lele, but like look at Mirgirna. I just don't think it should be allowed. It's so good. But it was allowed because everyone else voted for it to be allowed. But then your boy ended up with the first draft pick. And you already know I gotta prove to the league why Mirgirna is a beast. So this was my first overall pick. What do I even start with? Okay. Mirgirna is just so good. Like, start with a really good typing, which is Fairy gives it no weaknesses because Steel covers all those. So it's only weak to, I think, Ground and Fire, which only having 2 weaknesses is amazing. Especially when you have, like, a lot of resistances. Then, it's versatile. It could be physical with Shift Gear, or special and just hit insanely hard. It's got insanely good natural bulk and an insane move pool. With access to Volt Switch, it could be a Trick Room Sweeper. It gets a really good, like a diverse moveset with Shadow Ball. Freaking, it has Zen Headbutt, I don't know why. Thunderbolt, Signal Beam, freaking. It gets Heart Swab, which is actually kind of fire. Explosion. Like, I could run Physical Explosion Mirgirna if I really want to. It just is really, really powerful. I think it gets Ice Beam, right? It gets Ice Beam, like, it just gets access to so much, and it just has such a good, like, its stats are just so good. Like, I just run plus, Modest Nature, and then you just run, Bulky. And then you could run AV, you could run Life Orb, you can run Z. It's just really good. Like, there's not much to say about it. It's just a monster. Like, this Pokemon is... There's a reason it's, like, seen so much. Like, look. Let's see. Showdown. Showdown. If I go to Showdown, usage stats. 2018... I just want to show you, Gen 7, Gen 7, OU, 1825. Mirgirna, besides Landorus, Therian, Mirgirna is the second most used Pokemon in OU at the moment. Or behind Landorus. Landorus is way ahead of it, because it's a freaking Landorus. It's just insanely good. But, like, Mirgirna is there, and it's so good. Then, after I got Mirgirna, my plan from the start, Mirgirna, Salamence. Because I figured Salamence would make it back to me. Why would it not? And I'm like, okay, I'll just pick up nice Mirgirna, Salamence. Awesome Fairy Dragon Steel Core. And then I was planning on making, like, a little Trick Room team, too, with Mega Camera. But, when it got back to me... There's a Pokemon that I said, if this Pokemon is still available, when it gets back to me, I literally will pick this no matter what. I just have to. That Pokemon is Mega Latios. Yes, you heard that right. The last pick of round 2, I was able to secure Mega Latios. Mega Latios. Where do I even start on this one? Literally, you just run freaking... You just run plus speed nature. This is just an example. And you just run 32. You hit base 400. And then you can put all that in bulk. It's just, with a base 160 special attack stat. Like, okay, let me break down these stats, okay? Base 80 HP. Nothing amazing, but actually a decent HP stat. 130 attack. Which, base 130 attack, let's go on. This thing's physical attack is on the level of... Here. Mega Charizard X. Basically. Scizor. Ho-Oh! It has the same attack stat as a freaking Ho-Oh! It has the same attack stat as a freaking Garchomp. Like, that's my point. Like, it actually could be run physical, and it gets Dragon Dance and Home Claw, so it's actually not bad physical. Then, base 100 defense, again, not amazing, but really good. Like, it's got good natural bulk. Base 160 special attack. Do I have to elaborate on that? If you just run plus B, you hit 460 special attack. If you get a Calm Mind up, it's literally game. It's game. 120 Spadef. That is insane bulk, like, for a mon that hits that hard. Yeah. And then base 110 speed. Very fast mon. Very good speed tier. Basically, if you're 110 or higher, you have a really good speed tier. That's my philosophy. Also get some nice, moves like Refresh, and Memento, so it could be, like, it has some decently cool stuff, heat, moves you could run on it. Also gets access to 2 reliable recovery moves, which is always nice. And you can drop a Draco. Okay, so I had the wheel pick, so I got to pick right after Megalodios. This is a mon that I, thinking back on it, probably should have waited for, but I'm happy I didn't, because Pele told me that he was actually going to pick it up, so I'm happy I picked it. Round 3 is a little early for it to go, but let me explain. Chestnut. So basically now I wanted to start building my Firewater Grass Court. And if you look at it, you got Migrana with base 115 special defense and physical defense, but more like often than not, I'm gonna run it more special with more special defense and AV. This thing's got 120. It's only got base 100 defense. I wanted a Pokemon. Also, I needed a physical attacker because, like, this could be run physical, but like, I really wanted like a dedicated physical attacker. Just because it's got base 107 attack, which is nothing to laugh at. Like, it's a good attack stat. Like, and that's not its really role usually. But, like, what its role is a good physical tank, and gives me access to, actually, like, just saying, I could technically run it, is that? I could run Belgium. Like, it has, like, it gets Synthesis with, does it get Leech Seed? Yeah, Leech Seed, so it's a good mon to, like, if you just want to wall people, just run really defensive, and then click Leech Seed, and you just wall them, and it's good because it gets access to spikes. So it starts off with me giving me some hazard stacking potential, and as you will see later, I actually get a lot of hazard not a lot, but, like, I get a good amount of hazards. And, like, so I just wanted this mon to be a good physical attacker, and it helps me with, my, hazard stacking. It also gives me access to Bulletproof, which is actually a really clutch ability. So, yeah, this is a really cool Pokemon. That, like, and I could run it some heat sets, like Belgium, obviously. I'd run freaking Power Up Punch if I really want to. Bulk Up, like, it's cool. Next, when it got back to me, I wanted to build more on my Firewater Grass Core. Now, I originally said I wanted Mets. That's because, like, it gave me the fly. It gave me a another ground immunity. Because, like, Magirna, that's like, I already have good ground coverage, but like, I always like to build on that. Because, like, that's Magirna's biggest weakness. Because, like, yeah. So basically, I wanted another mon that could check Magirna's weaknesses, and also had its weaknesses checked. Like, with Salamence, when I said that. Because, like, they check their weaknesses really well. So, and Salamence is a good physical attacker, and has 2 insanely good abilities. You guys probably know where I'm going now. There's a tier 2 mon, I don't have a tier 2 yet, that has the same abilities as Salamence, is a flying type, and has its weaknesses checked with these 2, plus, it's... Wait, actually, I don't know if it hits as hard. Its stats are slightly worse, but it's still really good. And that Pokemon is Gyarados. So Gyarados, he gets access to Intimidate and Moxie, like I've said, 2 incredible abilities. Base 125 attack is really good. And basically, it's just like base 125 attack, plus it gets good coverage with like Iron and Ice Fang, Outrage, Stone Edge. That combined with Setup and Dragon Dance and 2 insanely good abilities in Intimidate and Moxie make it just one of the biggest threats, in my opinion. And that's really all of the reasons I picked it. Like, it's just those reasons. Like, there's not much more to it. Next, I wanted to actually pick a returning face from last season. It would also give us a Stealth Rocker from Tier 3, my boy, Lycanroc Dusk. This quickly became last season one of my favorite Pokemon. Base 110 speed, which again, like I said, amazing, really, 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 just a really good freaking speed tier, man. Base 117 attack, he's always good, nice. With Tough Claws boosted moves such as Drill Run, Brick Break, Excel Rock, and then, like I said, it gives me, if I want to set up with SD, it gives me even an Endeavormon, which is cool. And, like I said, it gives me Stealth Rock, which are, like, my team really, really needed. So, yeah, basically. That was awesome. Then, my next pick... This is where I forgot. Oh, okay. I wanted to complete my Fire Water Grass core, and I wanted to get him on. I was looking, okay, what weaknesses of these 2 are not covered, really? Because these are my 2 main best mons right now. What weakness do I need to be covered? Dark, covered. Ice, covered. Ground, covered. Fire, covered. No, covered. So, the only one that wasn't covered was Ghost. So I wanted a Dark type. I picked the Dark type first. A good, bulky Dark type. And I saw a Pokemon I've never used, but I always appreciate. Umbreon. First of all, Synchronizes are a really cool ability to have, because they want to Toxic you, so they could whittle you down because of how bulky you are. But if they do that, then they also end up getting Toxic. So it's like yes, they're toxicing you, which is unfortunate, but they're also getting themselves toxic, which they don't really want. So you're still gonna go to... But you might be like, oh yeah, but then you're toxic. But guess what? It gets access to Heal Bell, so it gives me a Cleric. It gets Moonlight, so it has reliable recovery, even a freaking Pursuit Trapper if I want. It gives access to Priority and Sucker Punch if I really want. And it gives me a Wisher, and access to a mon with Wish. And so it's just a really bulky mon with good recovery, and it gives me a Cleric and a way to help deal with my Ghost type problem. Just like that, I don't have a Ghost type resistance. And like, look at this bulk, 130. Like, just from that, honestly, like, and you're good to go. And then run plus defense and speed, and then you look at that 350, 359. That's really good. Couldn't tell. I'm just gonna start from the beginning again. And then I needed to add a mon for my I needed a fire type to complete the core, so I decided to go with my boy Mag Mortar. How many? There's like a few reasons I picked that. It was this or Typhlosion, because I wanted a tier 4 fire type. So, one reason is Flame Body is actually a really underrated ability, in my opinion. The next reason is it's actually, like, got pretty good versatility, meaning that its special attack stat's very high, and that attack stat is actually usable, and it gets access to a plethora of good physical moves, and it gets Belly Drum, which is a really, really cool move, in my opinion. Because it gets priority and Mach Punch, and it gets, like, some other cool physical moves. But its versatility on the special side is pretty cool, too, with Clear Smog, Flamethrower, and Fire Blast. And then it has Psychic, Thunderbolt. Okay, don't know that much. But yeah, it has Thunderbolt, Psychic, Fire Blast, Clear Smog. They got anything in here? Belch. If you want to run Belch, I could run Dual Chop if I really want to. Headbutt. Freaking Mega Kick. That's a move. Yo, why? Oh, okay, because it's 75% accurate. I was gonna say, why don't people ever run this? Mega Punch, worst move ever, actually. Yeah, so basically I just need a fire type, and this is actually a pretty good fire type. Then I did you. So I have you left, I have you. So I have 4 months left. Okay, I'm gonna real quick go over my Z Crystal. I picked the Electrium Z. This was the last thing I picked, so there weren't that many good Z Crystals left. And I'm like, I have a decent amount of mons I got electric moves, so I'll just pick Electrium Z. That's basically it. My next pick was a mon. We had an OPL. OPL died, of course, but this mon will live on in this league. Oh, I'm typing OPL. I'm so dumb. Porygon 2. So, as you can notice by now, my team's pretty bulky. And I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna embrace this. I'm just gonna draft another insanely bulky mon. Let's start with its really good abilities. You're going against a mon with, like, freaking Intimidate. You're going against a Lander State. You can go in on it. You could run Fizz Death, and then go in on it, trace its Intimidate, and then eat whatever it wants to go for. Or you could trace Sheer Force, like Kyle A did against Dan, a.k.a. Drive. Download is also a good ability, because it actually makes an offensive threat. If you switch in on a less or Spadefmon, you get to +1 special attack, and you actually hit pretty hard with a base 105 special attack. And then Analytic is actually a decent move, because base 60 speed. Decent ability. And then it's got base 90 defense and 90 special defense, which looks bad on paper, but then you realize you can run Eviolite, and if you go to a calculator, you realize, oh, 289 times 1.5, you do that. Sorry. You realize, oh look, it's actually bulkier than like an Umbreon. Yeah. So you're like, oh wow, that's actually pretty good. Plus it's a good offensive mon, and it gets access to Discharge, Ice Beam, Psychic, and Psyshock. Shadow Ball, Signal Beam, Thunderbolt, and then it gets access to Recover. And Trick Room, if I want to run a Trick Room team. It's just really cool. And bulky. Another returning face from last season is Reg Ice. Reg Ice quickly became one of my favorite low-tier Pokemon last season, just because you run Assault Vest on this thing. Run a plus special defense nature, and you hit 548, pull back out that calculator, and then you have 548 times, no, 8 times 1.5, 822 spit off. This thing takes like 20% from a Specs Primarina's Hydro Pump, which just baffles me. And then it gets decent coverage. If I really want to, I could set up a Veil. But then it has Flash Cannon, Focus Blast, Thunderbolt, Ice Beam, Signal Beam. So, like, not great coverage, but, like, it also gets extra power. But, like, the coverage it needs to basically hit any mon it's gonna go against. Heard that with a decent special attack stat of base 100, and again, a decent defense stat of base 100, it's actually a threat. Like, it's a monster. This thing. We're down to our last two Pokemon. So, this, I wanted to fill in some of my holes, and I was lacking an electric and a ghost type. I decided to patch both of those with Rotom. Rotom's a mon I really like. Like, looking at his stats, you're like, that ain't it, Chief. That ain't it. But then you think about it, it's actually got a decent typing, because with its ability, it has 3 immunities. Then you look at this, and you're like, okay, nothing good. And then you realize it gets access to Pain Split, which is a cool move. And it gets access to Light Screen and Reflect, which is cool. I could run Sucker Punch, but, like, it gets Will-O-Wisp, so, like, it's a good mon just because, like, you just click Volt Switch, you'd run Dual Screens. Like, it's not a mon you're gonna bring that often, but when you bring it, like, it's kind of cool, you know? It does stuff. Like, it doesn't do great, but it does stuff, you know what I'm saying? Base 95 special attack ain't horrible. Like, it hits okay. And our last mon. So, at this point, I was lacking a poison type. So I'm like, okay, poison type. Who's the poison type? I could afford a tier 3. Now, there are no poison types I could pick in tier 3 that would not give me also a duplicate typing. I'm like, whatever, I'll get a duplicate typing. I saw Salazzle sitting there, I was like, Salazzle ain't bad. But then I saw this mon sitting here, and I'm like, I mean, this mon gives me decent Spadaf, it gives me a actually really good special attack stat, and it gives me Toxic Spikes, which that would mean I have Toxic Spikes, and Stealth Rock. You probably figured out what mon I'm talking about. It is Roselia. Now, Roselia has an insane base. Okay, I'm lying. It's not Roselia. It's Roserade. Roserade's got a really good base 125 special attack set. Paired with Technician, it actually hits really hard. You might be like, Technician? I don't know. But, like, think about it like this. If you have a super effective hidden power, it goes from being 120 power, which is basically, 120 power, to freaking base 180 power. That's 60 power difference. Like, after, I mean, like, super effective now. So that's really huge. Like, that's huge for killing mon. And a base 105 is a decent Spadaf stat. And then the biggest reason I picked it is, of course, it's access to, well, spikes and toxic spikes, actually. But, like, mainly toxic spikes. It also gives me a mon that could put Pokemon to sleep with Sleep Powder. And it gives me another Cleric, because it gets Heal Bell, is it? No, it's because it gets Aromatherapy. So this is our team for the new DPBA season. Let me know what you guys think of it in the comments below. I'm actually really proud of it. I think this is probably the best team I've ever drafted. And we are taking on my good pal, Pele the Guja, next week. I hope y'all enjoy, and until next time, my puffer people, stay poofed. Wait, what? Wait, poofed? What does poof? What? No, stay poofed. You know stay poof, right? No, it's stay puffed. Come on, man. Dude, you're breaking the fourth wall. What are you doing? Sorry guys, I gotta go. Just ignore everything you just said, okay? Peace!